Hey YouTube, we are back with another deck with Kaldheim's release, whatever, a week ago, I guess it was. Um, just like the last video, I was taking Showdown of the Skulls and trying to make it, see what we could do to try to make it better. And we came up with we came up with a Rune deck and see how it works. It's a very interesting concept. So the concept here is you use Rune Forge Champion, it grabs us runes, and then it's gonna cost one mana. But that doesn't matter. The fact that it costs one mana is not what it matters. The fact that all the runes cost two mana is, oh, here it is. And then you put it on Goldspan. So you use two mana to put the rune on Goldspan, and then when you target Goldspan, it creates the artifact to create you two mana. So technically, you are casting all these cards for free on Goldspan, and then you play obviously other cards that target Goldspan, like Defiant Strike, Fight as One, Shelter. Use other cards, and it gets you two mana. But so the point of the deck is literally runes to target Goldspan. So I play Rune of Speed, target Goldspan, give it a 1/0 haste, whatever. But it creates me two mana and draws me a card. Then I play another one, it creates me two mana, draw a card. Play another one, creates me two mana, draw a card. But then, so what you do is you play those rune cards, and then you use it with the second or third of saga part of Showdown. So that way you're just increasing this guy's power each turn for free. So I play a rune, it puts a 1/1 counter on it because of Showdown, and then I create the two mana again. Play another rune, puts a 1/1 counter on it, creates another token, so I can cast another card, So that's the concept of the deck. So let's see how it works. I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not, but it's a theory. We'll see if it works or not. But before we get into the deck tech, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. Hit that notification, that like button. As always, check the comments or the description of the video, as that's where the Stream Decker link is to the deck. So also there's my Twitch stream if you want to follow me there, watch me live. But I would appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, and let's go ahead and get to the deck tech. All right, so we're playing 4 Defiant Strikes. This is a 1 mana cantrip, draw a card. Obviously, it works well with Goldspan because you play 1 mana to create 2 mana, and it draws you a card. So we're playing 4 Defiant Strikes. Fight as One is a way to protect from indestructibility. So if they want to target, say, Goldspan, it creates 2 mana, and then we can use the token to sack the token, create the white mana to give it indestructible, and then since we target it, it creates 2 mana again. So that's there for Goldspan's protection. And then the runes we're running, so it's really Boros with blues. I mean, it's Jeskai, but it's really Boros with blue. And the reason why the blue was added, it's for the sideboard. But in the main deck, we're trying one of the runes just to be safe. You could technically run 3 of these and not run any of these, but I want to try this. I want to try her out and see if she's any good. Like, the reason why I want to try her out is because, so if you have Rune Champion and her out, all your runes, when you have Rune Champion in play, all your runes cost 1 generic mana. So whenever you cast a rune, or whenever you cast a spell, she'll create you red mana. So all your runes would cost 0 mana in a sense with these 2 in play. So that's why I want to try her. But then if you have these 3 in play, you're just creating extra mana every turn. So you play, your rune's going to cost 1 mana. She creates a mana, so that's the cost of the rune spell. And you target Goldspan, it creates you 2 free mana. So you're constantly generating 2 extra mana every turn, or every card you cast, I should say, that targets Goldspan. So we're giving her a try. But like I said, you technically don't have to run her, and you could just run 2 more of this rune. But anyways, so 4 of the runes, because we're Boros. This is a land, and it's a protection spell. Protects Goldspan. Once again, it's another way of protecting Goldspan. This one protects from indestructibility. This one protects from target spells like, I don't know, a Cron War or something like that. Something that wants to, or it could also use it to get through and do a little bit of damage. So that's why we have that. But I guess it's also a land. 3 shepherds, because you can return your runes. You can return Rune Forge Champion, stuff like that, and then replay it again. So 3 shepherds, like 1 rune because it's a rune deck, 4 of the red runes, 3 shatters, it's a removal, it's a land. Obviously 4 rune 4 champion because it searches out for runes, makes the runes cheaper. Like I said, we're trying this out. I'm not really sure if she's gonna be good or not, but we'll give her a try and see if it's any good. But that's why I'm only doing it as a 2. The artifact side is obviously good because you could discard a card and then you can play the top 2 cards of your library, you know, obviously. But we'll see what happens. 2 bone crushers, extra creatures, extra removal. So that's what that is. You could also make this, like I said, if you don't want to play the blue rune, you can cut the Burgies and make this into 4 if you want. But I want to try it out as a 2 of and see what it works. Kazu's Fury, it's a land, and on top of that, it's a way of, so let's say we do, I don't know, 10 damage with Goldspan. Then we can use this, sack Goldspan, and do 10 damage, make it lethal. You can also sack your creatures, do damage to creatures. So we're trying it as a 1 of. Obviously, 4 showdowns and 4 dragons. I mean, it's this showdown card is super powerful. The dragon's obviously super powerful, so I'm definitely running 4 of each copies. The lands are pretty basic. There's nothing special about the lands here. The sideboard, we got red cap against Boros aggro decks, red aggro decks, anything aggro-ish, red-wise. The disdainful strokes, negates, and mystical disputes are against like the Temur ramp decks, the Sultai control decks, and that's the main reason I added the blue in the deck is because like I have these counter spells out of the sideboard. So you know you could remove cards like Burgies and stuff, even maybe fight as 1 or something like that, and then you can bring in counter spells. Fire Prophecies against more aggro decks. It helps you can't trip because you'll put a card to the bottom. Ox is there against what's it called, rogue decks. But so that's the deck. Let's see if it ends up doing well or not. Right off the bat, I already know some of the cards that I would probably change if it doesn't work out. Obviously, this one, but we don't know. She might be a great card, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the matches. All right, let's see. Let's play some Jeskai runes. Jeskai runes. Rune control, Jeskai rune control, runes, whatever you want to call it. I'm playing some runes in standard. Alright. Bercy. I mean, I got 4 lands. I have the Rune Champion to grab me a rune, and I have Showdown of Scalds. I would keep. Yeah, seems fine. Let's see. Showdown just such a great card in this deck. So what are we playing against? Red green Temur or red green ramp or something? I don't need another Shadow Skull smashing here. Let's bottom that. Beanstalk Giant. So Temur ramp. Or put this on white. Cast a champion. Search your library because we have nothing obviously in the graveyard. But this is why it's rune control, because we play 9 rune cards. So do I want the haste one or do I want the lifelink one? Usually you want the haste one just because the haste one gives you +1 attack. That's why. So usually you want the haste one. So he has 5 mana. So he can't cast Genesis Ultimatum yet. So I think I'm just gonna play this. Debating between Bone Crusher or Showdown of Scalds. But I think I'm going to do Showdown of Scalds and try to go for a huge churn next turn. Because I could all my runes are going to cost me 1 mana, so that's why. Ooh, Ancient Greenwold. What the heck? So I'm debating on if I just set up for next turn with Goldspan. Or do I just make this guy... No, I can't make this guy big enough. So I think I have to set up for next turn. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, Yeah, because we can only cast 3 runes here, so we could only make it into a 5/6. So we're just gonna cast this, and then next turn just go for it. Next turn we have 2 runes targeting gold spans, getting our gold spans big. As long as we don't just die here. This is Genesis Ultimatum. Okay, Cobra and Cosmia. Not great. Well, that wasn't a great draw, but alright, let's see what we could do. So play Rune, play it on the dragon, put a 1/1 counter on it, draw a card. Showdown's called, yep, put a 1/1 counter. So all these runes cost 1 mana. Okay, we'll stop. We don't need to be drawing any more lands. So put another one on. No, it makes do I want to target Rune Forge? So I could attack with Rune Forge also, maybe? Okay, another Showdown of the Skulls. So yeah, the runes are casting for 1 mana, and we're creating 2 mana out of it. So we're generating extra mana here. So I think I cast this, and then let's see what else we can hit. Put it on this. Fight as 1 and Shepherd. Shepherd's not bad because it creates me it's a free redraw in a sense because I'm using 1 mana to return and then 1 mana to cast the rune, and then Goldspan creates 2 mana. So technically it's just a redraw. And then we also get to put counters on our creatures, so that's the other thing. So it's a free card. Let's just keep getting everything bigger. So much lands. So many lands. I think I'm just gonna kill this and then put a counter on Runeforge Champion here. Get him into a 7/8 and attack with both creatures, I guess. If he's chump blocking here, that must mean he has maybe Ugin in his hand. Because why chump block? It's not lethal. And because he could just exile Kazmina and then play Ugin. I'm assuming that means Ugin now. Well, we lose our board then, I guess. Alright. But they're at 11, so I assume this means Ugin. Land, yep. Genesis, okay. It's not Ugin. Okay, I think we're fine. Because we're at 20. He can't kill us with the Terror of the Peak, so Solemn Resolves, and then we could just protect our creature with both fight as ones. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then we could Shatter Skull the Terror Peaks on our turn and attack for lethal. Yep. I don't understand what the Solemn is in the deck, though. Alright, so he's going to try to kill my dragon. I'm going to protect it. Auto pay. It creates us the 2 mana back anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's a free card. So now our creature is indestructible, so Goldspan, it doesn't really matter. Or not Goldspan. Terror of the Peaks doesn't really matter because we're making our creature indestructible. The question is, do I want to protect Runeforge Champion? Huh. It can't technically attack through his creatures. Hmm. Yeah, let's just keep it alive, I guess. Okay. I could have let it go, which I think would have probably been just better to let it die and then hold that for next turn so that way we could have put more counters on Goldspan and attack in the air. So Shadow Skull to Terror of the Peaks, put counters on Goldspan and attack in the air for lethal. And I don't think I'm gonna cycle here because I might need the lands, or I might need the mana, I should say. Okay. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So kill the Terror of the Peaks and then just attack for lethal, I guess, right? They're tapped out. They can't do anything. Right? Let's see. Alright, so play land first. Yeah, I think I was trying to see if I can attack with Rune Forge Champion, but I think I just kill the Terror of the Peaks and then I just attack for lethal. Submit one, submit. I take 3, I guess. That's fine. Put a counter on Goldspan. Oh, I don't take a life. Interesting. And then just cast Goldspan and attack for lethal. Because he has no flyers. Okay, that's game. Attack for 14. And this is why I was debating on keeping the, what's it called? So, but, alright, 14 in the air. Alright, so we're playing against Team of Ramp. So we want Disdainful Strokes here. Whereas like the Ancient Green guy is kind of weird. And this is kind of weird because it doesn't work with Genesis Ultimatum because it puts cards that are put into play as their first half. Or their front side, I should say, not their first half. So he would have to cast this. I mean, he plays World Tree, I guess, but all right, so we want the Disdainful Strokes. I think we want 2 negates. I don't really want Dispute because he's running Lotus Cobras and he's running enough green and red cards that I don't think I want it. Obviously, it's good against Genesis, but not so great otherwise. All right, so what am I cutting here? I think I'm gonna cut. I think I could cut some Defiant Strikes and just take it at 62. Since it draws so many cards, I don't want to cut too much, but I guess I could have cut the creature too, the Burgie. Yeah, I probably could have cut Burgie. And speaking of, there she is. Probably should have cut her. So this card I'm not very sure about. I don't know. I'm trying her out. I don't know if it's good. I'm not 100% sold on it yet. Alright, we gotta play this as our land because it's a tap source, so we have to play it. Okay, well, if I would knew I would have choose Shadow Skull, maybe I wouldn't have played that. Because Kazu Cliffs, or whatever the front side of it, we can use it as an OTK effect. We can attack with Goldspan and then sack Goldspan to be lethal. Well, they have a pretty slow start for their Genesis deck. So play the birdie. Yeah, and the artifact side of it is expensive. It's 5 mana, so I don't think we need this in the deck. And she's legendary. Valakut Waning. The more I think about it, I'm gonna give her a try one more time after this match. I'm gonna give her a try one more time and see what happens. Solemn Simulacrum. Alright, well, we drew Rune Forge Champion. That's cool. It's kind of awkward that I need both blue and white here, but because they're getting closer to Genesis Ultimatum. Okay. Put that on. Oh, wait. So I had to put this on blue because I have to hold up Disdainful Stroke. Solemn's fine. Because I don't want them to cast something, I don't know, like a Terror of the Peaks, a Gold Span, or something like that. So I had to hold up Disdainful Stroke. I would have rather not, but I just don't want to lose to something like outside and just because currently we have kind of control of the game. Obviously now with our white mana, it's going to make it easier to do it. Does this guy care? Does this guy matter? I don't know if this guy matters. He has 2, 4, 6, 7. Wait, he has 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I think I just let this guy resolve. Alright, so we can play the Forge guy. Grab one from our deck. Do I want the lifelink or the haste one? I think I want the, yep, the hasty. And so this is free technically because of Bergie. So Runeforge Champion makes my runes cost 1, and Bergie makes it so whenever I cast a spell, I create 1. So technically, all my runes are going to be free now. Question is, do I want to do it? If I put it on these creatures, it doesn't really do much because I can't attack through a 5/7. So I'm just gonna let it happen. Alright, so that's what our opponent can do. I could technically cast Goldspan next turn and cast all the rune spells. Cultivate, yep. I would definitely need an untapped source though. Oh, nice. There we go. So white. Alright, so let's see. Goldspan. I'm debating on what the chances are that they have not Genesis Ultimatum. If they have Disdainful Stroke, what are the chances they have like Disdainful Stroke or Dispute? Okay, so I guess they don't have it. So yeah, look, so now this is just infinite mana. Because our runes cost 1 mana, Birdie creates us a mana, and then Goldspan creates us 2 mana. So we're just creating infinite mana here. Target the Goldspan, creates a mana. As long as we don't, I mean, if we don't draw lands, I guess. So let's use this, return the rune from here, create some mana, and then cast this on the Goldspan. Draw cards, create mana. Okay, another Disdainful Stroke. Alright, alright. The only thing that kind of sucks about Bergie is that it creates red mana, and we need other sources too. Like right now, the Shepherd. I need white, but you know, I would have to sacrifice one of my tokens to create white. If I wanted to do use the Shepherd's effect. I can cycle. Oh, no. I'm supposed to leave it in full control there. Supposed to leave it in full control. So I could sack the thing for double white. Okay, fight as one. Makes my guy indestructible. Okay. Let's just keep drawing cards, I guess. Showdown. There you are. Man, if the second effect of like Showdown was in play right now, this would have been insane. But I'm just gonna stop playing all these cards. I can play Showdown here because I can generate a lot of mana anyways. But next turn, if they don't win, we win the game. No. Wait. I was like, no. Don't cast the stuff. I can cast the Rune Forge, I guess, but I don't think I need to. Next turn, I just go for like lethal here. Fight as one. I can sack. I think I should have casted the Rune Forge here instead of the rune. And I have double dispute here at the ready. So now Genesis Ultimatums won't do anything. That resolves. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now he can generate. Yep, there's Genesis. Nope. Can't let that one resolve. No, 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 no. No, friend. All right, so now this is game. Because now we just have the second... Yep. We have the second effect of Showdown, so it's game. All right. Let's take some Jeskai runes to the ladder. It's a fun deck. It's a very fun deck. And it has the possibility of OTKing your opponent. So let's see what happens. We just won a game against the Temur Genesis Ultimatum deck. Alright, so we go first. We have 3 lands. I'll keep. Don't know what we're playing against, but we have 2 showdowns. It's very solid. We have the Rune to draw us a card. We could target our land. So we technically have a turn 2 play. So red, that is, well, more showdowns. Showdowns for the win, huh? Okay, that's our 4th land for showdown. So we're playing against some kind of red base deck. Or not red, but is it mono red? Ooh, Robber the Rich. Took our Defiant Strike. Yikes. Yikes. So is it mono? It's so mono red, huh? Alright, depending on what color I want. I'm gonna put this as a creature. So let's bounce the Rune and then cast it as a creature, just as a blocker. So that way it replaced itself. Oh, it's Boros. It's not red. Okay. Want it? Boros, Robber. Alright, we're definitely blocking this. We're definitely blocking this guy. Just had to make sure that Defiant Strike didn't say +1 first strike. Otherwise, that would have been bad. Okay. Alright, so put this on white, and let's play the Showdown. Showdown is such a busted card. So powerful. Like, there's so many decks you can build with Showdown that it's just ridiculous. Like, if you guys haven't seen my Jeskai tap out Showdown control deck, check that out. Showdown is so strong in that deck as well. Alright, let's see what we're doing. So we play this as our land. Play the champion, go search for a rune. Do I want lifelink? Because I have the haste one already. And then we could just use the, and we have 2 of that lifelink one. So put the other one on this. Since they're Boros aggro, I think I want to gain life here. And I'm drawing cards regardless anyway, so attack you for 5. So we can outrace this guy. Ugh. Our hand is so good. What do we discard here? I need the land, I think, for next turn because of Showdown, so that way I can cast a lot more spells. I think I just discard Showdown here. I need the dragon. I need the runes. I need Shepherd. I think Defiant Strike I need because of Goldspan. I can use 1 mana to create 2 mana. And I already have another Showdown in my hand. I think I discard Showdown here. I know Showdown is a very powerful card, but like every other card in my hand is just so strong right now, so I just had to give up a Showdown. Clarion Spirit. Okay, Seasoned Hollowblade holds back Runeforge Champion. Oh, anyways, I drew another Showdown anyways. Alright, we're gonna shock this. Play the Goldspan and watch us go off. Alright, here it goes. Here goes the... Here we go. This is going to be a ridiculous churn here. Okay, and then here we go again. Create more mana. Yep. Put the counter on Goldspan. Draw a card. Use Shepherd. Return a rune. I guess it doesn't matter which rune, but return a rune. Oh, I can't go back. I was supposed to return the rune. Oh man. I was supposed to return the rune off the forge. So that way I could put it on the gold span and do one extra damage, but oh well. It is what it is. It is what it is. Alright. Auto pay. So like we're just doing so much damage here. 9. So far we have 9 damage. We have Defiant Strike to make it 10. Oh, there we go. So now we could just return the... So I was supposed to return this one the first time around. But now this guy, Goldsman becomes a 12 power now. Goldspan with the runes is just so nutty. Because even if the Rune Forge champion is not in play, it taps 2 mana to create 2 mana. So this is like it's just really it's really dumb. And we have lethal. We could just use the furry. We can even cast this forge guy, go grab another rune, and then just attack him. We could cast spells. We still have Showdown of Scald in play. Like I don't want to play any more spells. I'm just gonna attack and win the game. We just did. Look at that. We just did 14 plus damage in one turn. We could have kept going. Like we could have just kept going. All right, so we're against Boros aggro, huh? Let's see. What card's not good in this matchup? Fire Prophecies are obviously good. Is Red Cap? No, I don't think Red Cap is good because they're running white creatures too. And then I would have to sack our land. So to cut 2 Defiant Strikes, I think. I think I could cut one of the Burgies as well, maybe. That makes it 61. All right, let's just try it. But yeah, so we did 14. We could have casted Rune Forge to make it 15. Use Rune Forge effect to grab another thing to make it 16. And it would have been a red one, so it would have been 17 damage. Cast the Shepherd would have been 18 damage. Like in that one turn, we could have done 18 plus damage just off Goldspan Dragon. Just off Goldspan Dragon, 18 damage in one turn is kind of nutty. Ooh, hit our Defiant Strike. All right, we have to kill this guy because otherwise he's going to start taking our stuff. Especially since our cards are cheap, they can cast them. Like Defiant Strike would have been a 1 mana draw a card. No, thank you. Another robber. No, another robber. See, they took another rune card, another cheap card. So we got a Fire Prophecy this. We're also looking for a land, so because I technically have land 3 with the shelter, I need another one after that. Do I put Showdown to the bottom? Or Shepherd? The rune draws me a card. Fight as 1. I could put Fight as 1 to the bottom. Well, I drew another Shepherd anyways. We need to draw another land. Oh my gosh. Robber number 3. Robber number 3. Okay. Champion. El Champion. I have to play the champion here because then it makes our runes 1 mana. So next turn I could play Rune, draw a card. Play Rune, draw a card. So 2 mana, draw 2 cards. Alright, no, I'm not gonna block because I need to keep the champion alive. And since he has Defiant Strike, he can kill my Forge champion with Robber. Gotta keep the Forge champion alive. Yep, give it flying, that's fine. Flyerino. Fly. Okay, well, that doesn't help. All right, here we go. So, draw a card. Nope. Draw a card. There we go. Took some time, but there we go. So we got to put this on red because of gold span. And then I guess I just attack for 3 here and gain 3. I have triple showdown in my hand. That gives indestructible. That doesn't work. I can technically shepherd the forge back to my hand. Yep. Gotta keep the forge alive. Gotta keep the forge alive. Oh no, he hit a land. Oh, it's a tri-land. Never mind. I was like, he hit a land. Oh, but it's a tri-land. So it wouldn't have came in tapped. It would have came in tapped anyway. So, all right. So let's give it haste, or not haste, but lifelink. Oh no, gold span. All right, we have to play the showdown here. Play land. Oh, there's our lands. There's all the lands. Oh, I should have kept that on top. Crap. He hit another land anyways. But I should have kept that on top because Robert is going to hit it. That was a misplay. Bone Crusher, okay. Alright, double Bone Crusher. Double Bone Crusher, we're light on lands. Okay. Am I changing anything? I mean, the red cap for Robber, but nah. I think, like I said, I forgot to take the birdie out after sideboarding for game 2. So we're just going to cut the birdie now. Bergie. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sold on Bergie. All right, so I have a removal and draw power, so I'm going to keep. And the Fire Prophecy could help us draw another card, technically. So, I mean, I have 2 lands, but I have 2 technically draw cards with Rune and Fire Prophecy. So, okay. I'm going to play this first in case he has a Robber the Rich. Ooh, his hand's slow. He kept the slow hand. He must have kept like an interactive hand, I guess. That's not usually good. That's not good against this deck. I'm gonna just kill this because I need to draw land. So I'm gonna cycle a card. Do I give up the Goldspan or I think I give up Shepherd? Since I'm at 3 mana already, I'm gonna give up Shepherd. Okay, there we go. Do I want to draw a card? Yeah, let's draw a card. Okay, it's another land. The reason why I could draw a card here is because Shepherd could just return it back to my hand. So Goldspan for later on, it will be fine. So like right now I can use Shepherd to return it back to my hand. Okay, another rune. Nice. Let's cast Goldspan. Attack for 4. Or possibly attack for 4. There's a pause here. So Goldspan's not. Okay. Giant Killer. Interesting. Interesting that Giant Killer is left in the deck. Okay. Well, we have another Goldspan here, so cast Goldspan. Debating on if I 5, 6, 7. I have 7 mana, huh? 8 mana with a play a land for turn. So if I do this for 5. Okay. Let's put this on here. It's a redraw because I'm paying 2 mana to create 2 mana. Okay. So now I can give Goldspan indestructibility. Huh. Alright, let's just attack. And then I can cast post-combat, I can cast a Shepherd here. Auto pay. It gives us a blocker. And yep. But we need to draw something else because his Giant Killer is just going to keep tapping down Goldspan. That's fine. He's gonna take Shepherd because he can't take anything else. But now he tapped his white source, so he can't use Giant Killer. Oh, okay. Well, he has another white source. I guess that's why. He had another. So yeah, his hand was very interactive this game. It seems. Ooh, Rune Forge. That's a good one. Rune Forge Champion. That was a great draw. All right, get the lifelink one. Let's play the lifelink one. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on this guy. I have enough mana right now. I'm gonna put it on this guy because they're just gonna keep tapping down the dragon here. Okay. That helps me kill the giant killer. All right. So I guess I just attack for 3 in the because he's gonna tap Goldspan. So I can't put these runes on Goldspan at the moment because he's just gonna keep tapping Goldspan. So I'm gonna diversify the threat and put it on champion. And then if he has any like random interaction, I technically have the furry to do something with it. Skyclaves, he's gonna try to target champion. I can then use so, I mean, I can't stop it obviously because the card gives me indestructibility, not hexproof. So I just use this to kill his giant killer then. So, oh no. So, nope, nope. I gotta target. Wait, how does it work? It's additional cost, deals damage equal to a sacrifice. So, okay. So I have to target his creature first, and then I sacrifice my creature. Okay. Gotta kill the giant killer. Yeah. His giant killer tapping my Goldspan Dragon constantly is gonna be annoying. And technically, I can outrace him because I have lifelink also. Yep. More lands. Put it on white. Cast this. Shepherd. Shepherd. Return one of the runes. Cast it. And then cast Shepherd. Depending on what I draw, obviously. Huh, yeah. Okay. Let's see what we draw. Another land. Okay. Okay, dokie, Dr. Jones. Yeah, so we go race. He's not lifelinking, we are. And we have a protect from indestructibility. So he's gonna hit me for that's fine. He's gonna hit me for 5. I go to 12. I hit him for 4, go back up to 16. So he can't win this race. There you go. See, so he stopped attacking. I think I have to cycle this. I have just too many lands in my hand. Make sure this time I tap it for oh, well, it doesn't matter because it's still used. Okay. Ooh, Shatter Skull is a good draw. Shatter Skull is a good draw. We kill his Shepherd and his Skyclave that stole my Shepherd of the flock, and then we're just gonna attack. So do it for 5. 3, 2, no, 2, submit. Yep. And then put this on this. It creates this 2 mana for 1 mana. Cast this. I can make sure I just sack all for white here, I guess. It doesn't really matter because the champion allows us to tap any mana for the effect. Make it a 6. And then just attack with everything, I guess. We gain 6 life back. I think this is game. I don't think there's something they can draw that would win them the game because we have fight as 1, so we have protection against indestructibility here. Good game, opponent. There we go. We got that one. All right, some Jeskai Rune deck. Let's play some Jeskai Runes. DJXCTF. What you playing? Well, Loras. I guess we're against rogues. Can't keep this. Zero lander, huh? Nice. Okay. I mean, it's not great, but it's like, what am I gonna mold to, you know? So gotta keep. Gas to keep. I don't have white mana. That kind of sucks. But all right, we got two runes. We could hopefully draw white. Since we could put them on the lands anyways and draw. All right. Yep. Rogues. Rogarino. Of course. Of course, Fable Passage. As usual. Alright. Divine Strike. We still don't have a white mana, so that doesn't work. Okay. This is not looking good. It's not looking good. I need white mana so I can play Showdown. I mean, I need a lot, but I do need a white mana. Okay. So their Wind Robber is active. All right. Well, there's white. All right. So, I mean, now they can just sack Wind Robber at will. Robbers. Yep. Mills. One to the bottom. Guild Enforcer. So I'm assuming since he casted the Guild for Enforcer during the main phase that they're holding up John in the lock. But the question is, do they want to counter this? Because it helps them mill, so I don't think so. Because they could just counter whatever I play off it. And it gets me 4 cards deeper from milling myself. And we hit no creatures out of that. I mean, 3 Rune Forges and Goldspan. Alright, we're going to concede. He milled off 5 of our creatures. Alright. Against rogues. I'm going to cut 1 of the dragon. I'm going to cut 2 of just the Defiant Strikes here. I don't think the Fighter one's that great here. I'm going to cut Shepherd. Cut the Disdainful Stroke. 3 Oxes. Easily bring the Oxes in. Disputes. Fire Prophecies. I'm debating on if I want Negate. It's a good card, obviously, but the problem with Negate is if they already have a creature in play, then like what do I do afterwards, you know? So like then I just have a useless card in my hand and just beating me down with 3-4 or 3-2s and 2-3s and whatnot. So I mean that last game was kind of unfortunate because we just had no creatures, but I guess we keep this because we have counter spells and Bone Crusher. Not the greatest, but the counter spells will help out. I need to draw some good stuff still, but I'm gonna play the River Glide Pathway in case he wants to try to play Rune Crab. Yep, there we go. Obviously I could have played the Fury here, but you know, I need to rather play and stop the crab, and we'll hold up giant Bone Crusher. Oh, nice. That was a good draw. Put it on white and play the Forge. That was actually rather a good draw. As long as he doesn't have Essence Scatter, that is. What do I want? So I have the haste one already. I have Rune of Speed in my hand. Either the lifelink or the flying. I think I take the flying just so I can use it to hope, eventually block the dot thief, or not dot thief, but sword dot thief, yeah. There's Ox, nice. Oxarino. So let's put the flight one on. Maybe I should have put the Rune speed on instead, because it becomes a 3/3, or yeah, it becomes a 3/3. Drone on the lock. I mean, gotta counter this, I guess, because he's trying to destroy my creature. And then it fizzles out two of my cards. Alright, Goldspan. I can't block and kill it, so I'm just gonna attack him for 2. He's going to attack regardless. So is this Tron still attacking, huh? Alright. I could Bone Crusher the Guild Enforcer, but and then I could play the Rune. So I don't think I want to do Ox yet. I think I want to do kill the Guild Enforcer, because my hand has a lot of decent, it has good cards, so I don't want to Ox yet. Negate, sure. Rune, put it on the Forge. There's another Ox, I guess. Interest tapped. Now, if I could draw a land, I think we might be good because the Goldspan. I'm debating on if I want to put this other rune on it or not and draw a card. I mean, obviously, I want to cast Goldspan and then put the rune on it so I could create two mana. But all right. And then now that we're at 3/3, we can actually kill the Thought Thief. So let's just hold this back. If I could draw a let, all right. I guess we're taking if I could it held off the Thought Thief. If we could draw a land here, oh, perfect, nice. As long as it doesn't counter, that is, of course. But I mean, if he had drawn on the lock, I think he would have just used it to kill Runeforge and attack with everything. So I don't think he has drawn on the lock. I think just has a counter spell, is what it is, but not drawn on the lock. Yep, sweet. Doesn't matter. We got the token, and now we could cast Ox. Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape here now. And it doesn't matter what I remove from my graveyard because my graveyard's irrelevant. Irrelevant. Ooh, Showdown and the Rune. Nice. And Shepherd. I think we got this locked up. They take 7 here. Oxyboy. He brought in a bunch of negates against... I mean, I guess we do play a lot of spells, but... Alright, what you got, opponent? Alright. Yep, they can't play into the story, and they probably have a bunch of, like, I don't know what else they can have in their hand, but I think I'm going to cut out Bone Crusher for the other Fire Prophecy. Just because, like I said, Bone Crusher can't kill for example, the Thought Thief, but Fire Prophecy can. Fire Prophecy could kill the Crab, and Bone Crusher can't. And it looks like he's bringing in negates anyway, so if I try to use the first half of Bone Crushers, we're going to probably negate it anyways, so... Alright. I took a Bone Crusher out and I drew the other two. That's hilarious. I'll keep. I mean, I have a Bone Crusher to deal with the Thought Thief and then I could cast it. Wind Robber, we could kill that. It's a land I'll keep, I guess. It's a land I'll keep, I guess. We have Bone Crushers as a removal. Oh, I'll also keep. Never mind. What am I saying? I'll keep. Yeah, I'll keep so that he can mill it. Oxyboy. Oh, I guess if we would have put that to the bottom, he would have milled our Ox. Alright, I need blue just in case I draw counter spells. Get rid of this Merfolk Wind Robber and get rid of him now. Soaring Thought Thief. I guess he's afraid of Mystical Dispute and stuff that we played against him last game. Alright, so I think I'm going to shock Shadow Skull because I'm going to shock it anyways. And then play Bone Crusher. Because I don't know if I want the pathway as white or red yet. That's the reason. So if I'm going to play Shadow Skull regardless, might as well just play it. I'm going to shock it either way. Fire Prophecy. I needed that one. So now we put it on white. And the only way he can counter this is with Negate. Because he can't drown this. There's not enough cards in the graveyard. Drown and lock to kill my Bone Crusher. Wow. Alright, we hit a gold span. Nice. Wind Robber. And add Loris. Okay. Alright. I think we're in some okay shape here. I could cast this, cast Gold Span, and even if I wanted to, use Fire Prophecy to kill, them, which might be it. Just so he doesn't mill so much. I could also just put the runes on Gold Span. So it's a redraw. I'm going to put the rune on it. And I think we do the Rune of Flight again on it because otherwise it's going to disappear. It's a redraw. It's a free spell. Otherwise I'm losing it. So might as well use it and draw a card and put counters on my gold span. So the only way he already used one draw unlock. The only way he can kill gold span now is with another draw unlock. Because Heartless Act won't do it. It has counters on it, and Eliminate obviously won't touch it. The question here is if I want to Fire Prophecy Soaring Thought Thief. And I think I do. What do I want to put on the bottom? Maybe Bone Crusher, because Showdown, okay. Well, we drew a land. I'll take it. We have a technically 2-turn clock against him with the gold span, especially since he just attacked. Oh, okay, so he's just going to sack, play Loras, recast it. Oh, he drew Drown and Lock. Nice draw, opponent. And Crab. Alright. Let's see. Well, I wasn't sure if I wanted to cast the Shepherd as a creature, but now it looks like I do want to cast it as a creature. Otherwise, if I was going to cast it as a creature, I would have casted it prior to Showdown, so I could have gained a counter. Because we still have our trigger from our last Showdown. So I can either shock myself for 3 and play Shepherd, or I could play the land in my hand, but I think shocking for 3 is fine. So, because I'm going to go to 10, and I have the white rune to lifelink, so I think we're fine with that way. But technically, this could have been a 4-2, but I wasn't sure what I could hit off. Because if I would have hit the Rune Forge, then I would have been fine. I would have casted that instead by sacrificing the token. Alright. So let's go with gold span. Put the counter in Shepherd. All right. We have two runes. I guess we could put both of them on one and one on the other. So we're gonna use lifelink, because if we attack and put everything on Goldspan, he just blocks with Merfolk Robber and then just sacks it. So we do no damage and we gain no life. So we have two rune of sustenance. Let's just swap them around. Let's make sure we put a counter on Goldspan so he can't use Heart of Sack against it. He's already used two John in the Locks. This on white because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 red, and then put the other one here. Put a counter there. We're diversifying our threats so that way he can't deal with everything at once, you know? Ooh, Mystical Disputes. Nice. I like that one. My hand's kind of good. I don't think I want to Ox here. Do I? No. We have 15 cards in the graveyard. That's not going to stop 15 cards, remove 8 of it. Yeah, it's not really gonna stop it. Put it on this. Put counters here. And then I can attack and get the token. Ooh, another dispute. Nice. So we attack with both, we get the token, and now we hold up double dispute. We got this, I think. And he can't stop all the life link, so we're gonna gain 5 and go to 15. And the next turn, if anything, we can just cast the Ox in our hand. And then cast the Ox from the graveyard. And then reduce the graveyard. So I think we got this. Because he's at 9. He can't... I don't think he can kill both our creatures. And we give protection from, say, blue. So he can't block with the Merfolk Wind Robber anymore. Forcing him to block either with the Crab or Loris. I think we got this. We got Rogues in the bag. Lulamage. Yeah. He has 2 mana open. No thanks. Auto pay. And then it gives us another blue for Mystical Dispute. You may not take my shepherd. I shall say no. Journalog. Haha. Another dispute. And if he doesn't have a land, he can't return Merfolk Wind Robber, so that should be game. I'm assuming he doesn't have a land then. Nice. We got him. We got the Rogues. Roguerino.
Hey YouTube. So we just got done playing with some matches. We played against, what was it? Rogues, Teamer Ramp, I think it was. Let me see. So we played against Rogues, we played against Boros, Aggro, and Teamer Ramp, and this deck's pretty good so far. So I mean, it's not obviously tier one. You know, obviously tier one decks are going to be like the Rogue and the Soul Tie decks, whatever. But this is kind of like a fun deck, and it's kind of competitive. I would consider this maybe something around like 1.5, tier 1.5, 2 tops. But like it can have very explosive turns as you just saw, where you can just literally win in one turn, one attack. And since Goldspan has haste, even if it didn't have haste, we have Rune of Speed to give it haste. Like it could just win off one attack. But so before we get into the deck tech, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification, hit that like button. As always, check the description of the video, because in the description of the video, you'll have the Stream Decker link. So you'll be able to export the deck to Arena if you want to play it. It'll also have you my Twitch stream link. So if you want to watch me or follow me on Twitch, it has a description, stuff like that. It has other things down there. So check the description, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification, that thumbs up, that like button. Let's get into the deck tech. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do a sideboard guide against 5 decks so the meta is starting to settle a little bit slowly, and these are the 5 decks that pop out to me. Maybe not necessarily what you're going to play against, but just something, you know, that you'll see. So the first one that I'm going to cover would be so it's like a Boros aggro deck. So or aggro, Boros aggro, red aggro, whatever you want to say. If it's red aggro, it would be a little bit different, but it's Boros aggro, that's what I do. So against Boros aggro, I bring in the 4 fire prophecies and I take out 1 stroke, 1 negate, and 2 defiant strikes. So the fire prophecy, obviously, because it does damage to their creature, kills their creature, so it gives us survivability. And their aggro, I mean, yeah, they do play Showdown of Scalds, but we're also playing that, and you don't really want to hold this up if they have Showdown because most of their creatures are like 2 drops, 3 drops, 1 drops. So Stroke and Negate are useless against all their creatures. It can obviously counter Showdown, but it's not worth having useless cards until they play Showdown. So that's why I cut those. And Defiant Strike, I cut that because, I mean, yeah, you can use it on their creatures to draw a card, so it's a cantrip. But I'd rather just be removing their creatures rather than cantripping one of my mana to try to draw a removal. I'd rather just draw the removal. So after sideboards, we'll have 3 Bone Crushers, 2 Shatter Skulls, and 4 Fire Prophecies to kill their creatures. But we should be fairly good against the aggro deck just because of the white rune. The white rune gives us lifelink to any creature that we attach it to. So if we have it on Goldspan or Rune Forge, and then we have some showdown triggers, we get in lifelink and we can outrace them. And then we can use the blue rune to give our creature flight so we can evade their creatures. So this is what I do against Boros aggro. And I guess if you're playing against like red aggro, obviously you bring in the red cap melees as well. But Boros, most of their creatures are white, and that's why we don't bring the red caps against Boros. So that's what we do against Boros aggro, showdown, whatever you want to call it. Now, the next deck you'll probably see is going to probably be Rakdos. And so if I were to play against Rakdos, this is how I would sideboard against Rakdos. Obviously, Rakdos' game plan is to discard your hand and then just use or steal your creatures and then use your creatures against you. So the way I side deck against Rakdos is I bring in 3 Oxes. This is to kind of replenish my hand after all the discarding they're doing, stealing my creatures and whatnot. I want to replenish my hand, and Ox is a good way to do that. I bring in 1 negate and 1 stroke, and this is primarily against the what is it? The Kron War, the Predator. If you're not really seeing obviously that high of a curve or something like that, and some of them I've played against the Jund version where they're playing the what is it, the 5/5, I think it's a dragon when he comes in and play as Sax or whatever. So stroke is good against there. But the big thing here is that you don't want them to steal your creature with the Kron War. Because like once you get to Goldspan, the only way they can get rid of Goldspan is by a Kron War in it. And that's what the negate and stroke is for. Plus the negate also stops village rights, so they can't draw cards. So I bring in 3 Ox, 1 negate, and 1 stroke. And what I take out against them is 2 fight as ones because they're not really destroying your creatures, they're just stealing your creatures and sacking it. So having the indestructibility doesn't really matter against them. I cut 1 rune a speed, the red one, because my Goldspan already usually has haste. And I mean, I could attack with Rune Forge, but Rune Forge can search for the rune. So I take out 1 Rune Forge. I like to go over the top over them, so I keep the Rune of Flight because their creatures are for the most part ground creatures except for the Predator. So without Predator, I can fly over all their creatures and do the damage. So I keep that in. So I take out 1 Rune Speed. And I take out 2 Bone Crushers because it doesn't kill Cruxa. It doesn't kill the Predator. I mean, it does kill Woe Strider. This is true. But like I said, it doesn't. The ones that I care for mainly is those ones. If you don't want to cut the Bone Crushers, what you could do is you could take out 1 Rune of Speed and 1 Rune of Flight if you want, and then just leave the 3 Bone Crushers in. So then you would do this instead if you want to Rune Flight. So you could do this instead, and then you go from a 60 to 61 card deck, which shouldn't make a big difference. So that's what you could do against Rakdos. If you want to keep the Bone Crushers in against like the Woe Strider, I guess the Mire Triton. But see, like I said, killing the Mire Triton doesn't do anything because it already got its effect. So it's up to you if you want to do it that way or this way. But that's how I would sideboard against Rakdos. The next deck you probably see is, of course, Rogues. Rogues. It's just going to be all over the place. Rogues got popular again. You're guaranteed you're going to see Rogues at some point in time playing this deck. And that's why a majority of my sideboard is against Control and Rogues because those are going to be the 2 decks that you mainly see. So against rogues, what I like to bring in is I like to bring in 2 disputes, obviously 3 ox and 3 fire prophecies. So the disputes are for the 1 mana counter spells against John the Lock, against Into the Story, all the blue spells. It's a 1 mana counter spell. The fire prophecies are there because it could kill every single creature they play. I only bring in 3 because I don't want to flood my deck with too much removal. And then, obviously it's good, but I want to be able to also draw my cards to combo off with them. So I only bring in 3. And then Ox obviously escapes, it removes your graveyard, makes some of their cards either very expensive, or in John the Lock case, it makes it unusable. And what I take out is obviously I take out Stroke because they're all 3 cost and less cards. I take that out. I take 2 Bone Crushers out because I'm bringing in Fire Prophecy, and Bone Crusher can't kill. What is it? Their Thought Thief, their Crab. It can't kill the 2. It could kill Guild Enforcer, I guess, and it killed the 1/1 Flyer, but it can't kill Thought Thief and the Crab. So it might as well have Fire Prophecy, and that can kill everything. So I cut 2 Bone Crushers. I cut 2 Defiant Strikes because if they're constantly countering and killing our creatures, Defiant Strike is not really going to do anything. Yes, I can target their creature and draw a card, but it's just that cantrip is not worth it for me personally, so I take it out. I take 1 gold span out because it's a 5-drop. Obviously, it's a good card, so we still have 3 of those in. And I take out 1 Rune of Speed just because I don't really need the haste against that rogues. I can easily just fly or do other stuff with it. So this is how I would sideboard against rogues. Obviously, counter spells, escape cards, and kill spells, and we trim some of our cards that are useless against them. And then, recently, it was popular, but recently it's been going down in play. But Is It Snow is another deck that you probably will see. It's just a very kind of an efficient deck in a sense. Like it doesn't, it knows what it's doing and it just does what it does. You know what I mean? Like there's no, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? How do I play around this? It's just a linear deck. You just play it, and that's why it's so popular right now. So against Isn't It Snow, what we like to do is we like to bring in counter magic. So we bring in 2 strokes, 2 disputes. I do not bring in negates into this matchup for the purpose of we won't be able to counter Goldspan Dragon with negate. We won't be able to counter the cycle of Shark Typhoon, the Brazen Borrower, the Bone Crushers, or the Gadwicks. So I don't bring in negate. At least the stroke can counter the Goldspan, which is huge. And if they try to hard cast, and then Dispute is there for the early 1 mana counter spells against their counter spells, and we just cut out 2 Defiant Strikes once again as a cantrip that we don't need, and 1 Rune of Speed. So that's what I do against them. You could bring in, like, if you wanted to bring in Fire Prophecy, but the problem with Fire Prophecy is it doesn't kill Goldspan, so it could be a problem. And then the last deck that you will 100% see, it's definitely the deck that is being quite played right now, is Sultai Control. Either that be the Ultimatum version or that be just a straight control deck, whatever it is. But you'll probably see it, and that, like I said, my sideboard is mainly against control and rogue decks, and those are the 2 most popular decks. And this is why we have Sultai. We have stuff against Sultai Control. And against Sultai Control, you just bring in pretty much all your counter spells in a sense. You just want to counter their, because they don't play anything until like turn 5, turn 6. They're trying to ramp, or they're trying to cast, big cards. The only problem, I guess, I would say to the deck would be Coma or Como, but that card's uncounterable. So there's nothing you can really do against Como. You know what I mean? So you could try and add Brazen Borrower on their sideboard so you can balance Como, but beyond that, it's uncounterable, and you just have to go wide against them and beat Como that way. So I bring in 2 strokes, bring in 2 negates, and 2 disputes, just counter magic, and I take out 1 rune of, what is it, flight. I don't really necessarily need to fly over them. Haste does matter, but I don't necessarily need to fly over them, and we have 2 of them. You can easily cut 1. I cut the 3 Bone Crushers because it's not killing anything. This is pretty much a 3 mana 4/3 against them. It doesn't do anything else other than that. You can use it to do 2 damage, but that's not relevant. They're at 20 life. Doing 2 damage is not going to matter. And I cut 2 Defiant Strikes just because they're going to probably be trying to board wipe our creatures. slash counter or whatever it is. So I cut 2 Defiant Strikes. I keep in the fight as 1 because they run a lot of cards like Heartless Act, Eliminates, and that's why I keep the fight as 1 in over the Defiant Strike because of how many Heartless Acts and Eliminates they run. So that's how I do that against Soul Tide Control. So far, the deck is pretty good. It's been fun. I think it has a 63% win rate at the moment out of like 7 or 8 matches. So it's not bad, but it's definitely not a tier 1 deck. It has obviously if its faults into the deck, but it's a good deck. It's fun. You could go off and people aren't expecting a Rune deck. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, give it a try. See it if you like it or not. But yeah, hopefully you have fun with it. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, that like, that button. Check the descriptions on the video, of course, as always. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.